So, what happens when one person, armed with, just their own research and a laptop, decides to take on the entire complex world of family law? And we're not just talking about filing a few forms here. No, we're talking about a legal battle that spans years, crosses state lines, and really, it gets to the very heart of our justice system. And it all boils down to one central question.
And that's the question we're digging into today. What does it really take to challenge the legal system all by yourself? This is a story about navigating a labyrinth that was, let's be honest, designed by experts for experts, and one person's incredibly unique approach to finding their way through.
And this slide, wow, this really captures the whole conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got the traditional world of law. It's dense, it's complicated, built on centuries of rules. And on the other, the clean, structured logic of computer code. This is where one person decided to use the tools of a new world to master the rules of an old one.
To really get the scale of this, you have to understand what it means to represent yourself, to go pro se, as they say. You're not just your own lawyer, you're also your own paralegal, your own researcher, your own clerk, all while facing this mountain of procedural and legal hurdles.
And believe me, the stakes could not be higher. This is not some small claims dispute. This particular fight has gone all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States. I mean, this petition right here shows that this individual isn't just fighting a personal battle. They're raising these fundamental questions about due process and parental rights that affect everyone.
So how in the world do you even start to tackle a case this complicated? Well, this litigant did something pretty smart. They broke it all down into 4 distinct battlefronts, which gives us a much clearer picture of the whole conflict.
Now, what's really interesting here is that this table isn't something we put together. It's taken directly from the litigant's own master evidence inventory. It's literally how they organize the chaos. You can see the case is being fought on jurisdictional, financial, custodial, and, constitutional grounds, each with dozens of critical pieces of evidence.
Okay, so first up, the jurisdictional front. This is such a classic problem for modern families. The case stretches across multiple states, in this instance, Colorado and South Dakota. This creates a real tangle of competing authorities under this super complex law called the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, or UIFSA. It's basically like trying to play the same game but with 2 different sets of rulebooks, which makes figuring out who has the final say a huge legal challenge all on its own.
Then you've got the financial front. At the very heart of it are these alleged child support overpayments, estimated to be as high as $116,000. The argument is that years of uncredited direct support payments and ignored shared custody arrangements led to these massively inflated obligations. That figure just shows you the staggering financial stakes involved here.
And beyond all the money, there's the deeply personal custodial front. The case documents over 120 alleged violations of the parenting plan. So this isn't just about legal arguments anymore. It's about parenting time, it's about stability for the kids, and it's about the fundamental relationship between a parent and their child.
And finally, we have the constitutional front. This is where the case really zooms out from just a personal dispute to a major systemic challenge. The litigant is arguing that the actions taken by state agencies and the courts actually violated their fundamental rights, specifically the rights to due process and equal protection under the law.
Now, to really understand that financial conflict we just talked about, we need to take a quick peek at the official rulebook. How is child support actually calculated? It's not just a random number, it's based on a really strict legal formula that's laid out in state laws.
And it all starts with this legal term, gross income. According to Colorado law, this includes income from pretty much any source you can think of, wages, benefits, self-employment, before certain business expenses are subtracted. This one number is the bedrock of the entire child support calculation.
And this quote right here, this is absolutely key to understanding why these disputes get so heated. According to Colorado case law, parents can't just informally agree to change the support amount. Nope. Any change has to be formalized through a court order. Now, this rigidity is designed to protect the child, but it can also create massive problems if those court orders don't actually reflect a family's real-life situation.
Okay, so we've seen the labyrinth. Now let's look at the playbook. Faced with all this complexity, the litigant didn't just fill out forms. They built something pretty extraordinary, a custom litigation engine to manage every single aspect of their case.
Just look at the contrast here. The traditional toolkit for someone representing themselves involves stacks of paper, manual logs, really complex court forms. This litigant basically threw that out and replaced it with a modern toolkit, a database for all the evidence,
Python code to structure the legal arguments, and systems to automatically generate court-ready documents.
And this isn't some off-the-shelf software. This slide is showing a snippet of the actual code from what the litigant calls the True North litigation engine. Each piece of evidence is defined as an evidence item. Think of it like a digital index card, but way smarter, with a unique ID, a category, and a title. This simple structure turns what would be a chaotic pile of documents into this powerful, searchable database where any fact can be found and connected to a legal argument in seconds.
This whole case, and the really unique way it's being fought, kind of forces us to zoom out and ask a much bigger question. It's not just about whether the outcome is right or wrong, but whether the system itself feels fair to the people going through it.
And it turns out this feeling is not unique at all. A multi-state study, which actually included Colorado, surveyed non-custodial parents in the child support system. And while a majority, 61%, felt they were treated fairly, a very significant 39% did not. That's almost 2 out of every 5 people who feel like the system is working against them.
Well, research into something called procedural justice tells us that this feeling of fairness really comes down to 4 key things. It's about having a voice, being able to tell your side of the story. It's about neutrality, believing the decision maker's unbiased. It's about respect, just being treated with dignity. And it's about understanding, knowing your rights and how the whole process works. When those things are missing, the system itself can feel unjust, no matter what the final decision is.
So what we've really seen here is one person using modern tools to master an old, incredibly complex system and make sure their voice is heard. And this brings us to a crucial question for the future. As technology keeps empowering individuals like this, how must our legal systems evolve to make sure there's truly justice for all?